This is me when I was a baby. This is me when I was a YouTube baby. Only 2 years ago, but oh, how life has changed. I used to have surfer hair. It was all crazy. And it was my first ever video. It did really well. The algorithm was like, be well, my friend. I get a little spicy. Yeah, I came out of the gates kind of hot. And I was saying, hey, don't learn all the triads, but learn the ones that you want to use really well. And get quick with those shapes. And you still need to know that. So if you haven't seen this, you're going to enjoy this trip down spicy memory lane with me, your guitar friend Tim. Speaking of which, guitarfriendtim.com, go there. Join us. You get 2 weeks totally free. We do guided workouts like literally every day of the week. I'm your coach in there cheering you on. And now I leave you to enjoy this greatest hits first ever YouTube video that I made. It's a little bit weird. Don't be a baby. Learn your triads. I like these triads. I use these triads way more than other triads, and I'm going to show you why and how right now. Guitar friend Tim. Hello, guitar friend. I have a confession to make. I can't remember all the triads. I don't use all the triads, but much like hot sauce, the ones I like, I put on everything. I've actually found that learning triads is surprisingly tricky. Sometimes I just practice only one at a time. And it just sort of sits there, it's kind of static. Then I get all stubborn and try to memorize 3 or 4 or 5 at a time, or the whole fretboard till my brain goes numb and it all gets kind of blurry and none of it sticks. So I came up with a simple fix. I learn them in pairs. Yeah, turns out the buddy system works for school field trips and triads. I love this duo right here. And I can find the starting point using bar chords I already know. Like this. Say I need a C triad, I grab this bar chord right here, and that's my way in. Then I switch my first finger up to hold down all 3 of these notes, and boom, I got it. So the recipe I use is this. I just visualize the underlying bar chord as my target, and then I just slide
You mean to say the G chord shape of caged? You need to be using the caged system.
Oh, hey, Internet. Yeah, no, that's fine with me. I mean, the G chord shape would work too. I guess since I've just never found a practical use for holding that as a full bar chord ever in my life, it didn't come to mind. And speaking of which, it feels like if I'm saying G chord in my head while I'm going to look for a C chord, it might inevitably get a little confusing, but...
Internet says you need to know the caged system. Comply immediately.
Okay, I'll meet you halfway. How about if I imagine where I would need to put a capo if I wanted to play a C chord that looked like an open G chord? What fret would that be? And then I just whoosh, become the capo and hold down those strings with my first finger.
Scanning for caged system.
Okay, but Internet,
No cage.
look, I get the same
Detected.
musical result.
Incorrect.
Ow, God, you're so angry. Okay, first triad is C. Second one is F. And you already know, if a song is in the key of C, I'm very likely to find a C major chord. There's also a very good chance I'm going to need that F major chord. So suddenly, this little triad pair becomes super useful. Okay, cool, I like that. I think I'm ready to learn some more triad shapes. That makes the most sense to me because my brain's already dialed up on the topic of triads. I'll just hunker down all weekend and memorize every shape of every triad that... Wait, that's the moment it all went wrong. I overwhelmed myself that day, spread my brain too thin, tried to memorize too many shapes, and only skimmed the surface. I could never find what I was looking for. In time for the chord changes, I wish I could go back and just play that first triad pair, maybe repeat it until it gets into my bloodstream. Otherwise, it just seems like a classic case of use it or lose it. Okay, so maybe there's still more juice to get from this first pair. For example, I have to ask myself, can I move it around to different chords easily? I think so. If I visualize the underlying bar chord and go from there, I'm good. Cool, that way now I can use it in any song. Well, what else can I get from this triad pair? Well, if I am in the key of C major, then C is the 1 chord and F is the 4 chord. So if I wanted to learn the Nashville number system, this would be a killer way to break off a bite-sized piece of that. Because as you can imagine, knowing how to go from the 1 chord to the 4 chord at a moment's notice is super useful. The 1 and the 4 go hand in hand in so many songs. So really, I get 2 chords for the price of 1 with this. Every time I move this shape to a new key, I get the 4 chord that goes with it. I could even have a little circle of fifths wheel in front of me to get these 2 chord combinations ingrained in my brain. So that means if A is my 1, the 4 of that is D. Awesome. So far this one triad pair shape gives me 2 major chords, and I can move them, aka transpose them, to anywhere on the neck I want. By the way, if you want to dive deeper into these ideas while having fun doing it, devouring my quick, quirky style of custom-made lessons, jam tracks, and tabs, I invite you to join us at guitarfriendtim.com. I'm all about helping you achieve new levels of confidence on your guitar, so you can express what's in your heart and connect to the music you love. After this video, head over to guitarfriendtim.com, and thanks. So is that it for today? Or is there one more juicy bonus bite left in this pair? Of course there is, because check it out. If I think of how triads are most often used, especially on the high strings of a guitar like this, I suddenly notice there's a ton of cool guitar parts from songs I love where the guitar doesn't ever play full bar chords with low notes in them. So that would make these triads on the top strings a little bit lighter, a little bit freer to be stacked on different root notes underneath them. I was already pumped to get 2 chords for the price of 1. Now you're telling me I'm going to get 4 chords for the price of 2. So check this out. If I take the same C major triad that we started with, and if the bass plays a low C underneath it, we get that perfect C major harmony. Love it. But what happens if the bass switches to an A? What is the resulting chord? A minor, baby. Even smoother, it's an A minor 7. So hold up, am I to assume that if I'm playing along with a jam track or with my friends and the song that we're playing asks me to play an A minor 7, I can just play a C major triad instead? Is this cheating? But is it caged? I think we're over.
Not caged.
Okay, we're not okay. Yes, this triad with an A in the bass becomes A minor 7. And this one with a D in the bass becomes D minor 7. So if I ever see these minor 7 chords in any song, in any key, I have a shiny new triad to match each one of them. And for example, let's say I am in the key of C major. I go back and look at my Nashville number system. I just picked up 2 more chords from the full set, the 6 and the 2. Ultra useful. Wait, this is getting kind of swimmy. How do I find these minor 7 chords again? Option 1, by actually applying theory. Use a circle of 5ths chart and you'll see right next door to each of the major letters is the relative minor. They're neighbors. Option 2, use a fretboard trick. When I hold that first triad shape, to make it a minor 7 chord, I just hold 1 more note on the exact same fret as all the others on the 6th string. It's right there with them. Easy. Now for the second triad shape, the low note is on the exact same fret as the last one, it's just 1 string higher. Easy. And no doubt you'll recognize this bar chord. Well, certainly I can't use both of these options. I mean, one of them must be the correct way, right? Whatever gets you there. Hey guitar friend, thanks for watching that video. If you'd like to see another one that's packed with gold, go over here now. And also like, and also subscribe. And you know what else? Leave a comment. What have you done for me lately? A lot, actually. It means the world. Thanks for doing all the things that I said. Even if you just did one of them. Even if you unliked it. That would be pretty cool because you're a rebel. I salute you.